Well, I got to tell you, RNR Controls, they know what they're doing. You never should be without power, heating, cooling, or any kind of service. And the answer, the solution, Generac authorized generators. RNR Controls in Brownsville takes care of all that, from installation to servicing to showing you how it works. I mean, these things are pretty incredible. And Generac is the number one name when it comes to generators. So call them R&R Controls. They're your Generac dealer, authorized sales, service, and installation. And for over 40 years, R&R, those two letters together, have been what people go to when they need that kind of service and when they need heating, cooling, and like this, alternative power when the storms come. So, no matter the weather, call R&R Controls, your Generac authorized dealer. 270-777-2024. You see the number right up there. 270-777-2024. And if you need financing, as the graphic shows you, Synchrony Bank, they can do the financing for you and get you set up, and you'll be ready the next time there comes a storm. Never be without. Call R&R Controls. Hello, everybody. It is Wednesday, June the 4th, and I'm Chris Allen here with your 270 weather. Weather for the 270 area code and beyond. No rain today. We didn't pick up anything. It looked like it was going to. And there may have been some places that maybe saw a brief shower, but nothing really popped up. I said there might be an isolated shower, that most of you would not see that today, and most of you did not. It was warm. We did not hit 90. Nope. It was another day in which we've come close to 90. 88 was the official high temperature at the Bowling Green Airport today, 4 degrees above the normal of 84. 67 was our low temperature. And as you see there, no precipitation for the past 24 hours. But there is some rain that is beginning to show up now just to the west of us, which I will show you right now on radar. Let's go to that, and you'll be able to see that there's nothing going on here. But back to the west, there are showers that are trying to get going. Let me zoom out on this a little bit more. Heavy rain potential just east of St. Louis, right around Mount Vernon, Illinois. And that's where the better setup for rain is occurring. Let me turn on the Paducah radar. Let's go to Evansville since that's close. Oh, yeah. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. I thought there's something hidden there. I just don't see it. And now we know. I just had the wrong radar. I had the Nashville radar on. But when you get closer to where that rain is, you know that there's rain back there. You go to the next radar and you keep going until you find it. And there we go. Heavy rain, St. Louis, all the way east 64 into Mount Vernon, Illinois. And some of that rainfall has been pretty heavy. A few lightning strikes, but this is all about heavy rain. There's nothing severe necessarily. But all of that you see back to the west is eventually going to come our way. as we get into the day tomorrow. So just another, you know, 12 to 18 hours or so. All of that will be pushing into Western Kentucky and coming our direction, especially during the day tomorrow. But the heaviest of the rain, I still think at this point looks like it's going to be on Friday. Friday looks to be the wettest day around here. Here's a look at Kentucky Mesonet and all the stations around the Commonwealth. Temperatures currently are in the upper 70s to low 80s, even here at after 7 p.m., 7:17, the current time. Here in the central time zone, Bowling Green, Kentucky. We have 80 at the Corvette plant and 82 at the Ag Expo Center on the south side of Warren County. Anybody pick up anything today? Probably not. No, no, no. All zeros. Nothing there. Winds have been breezy again today, this time from the south and southeast. Right now, they're about 5 to 10 gusts, and there's a 12-mile per hour gust over in Hopkinsville in Christian County. But you could feel the moisture in the air, the dew points running high in the upper 60s to even low 70-degree dew points. Wow, that's that really sticky air. Sticky, sticky. I don't like it like that. Humidity, 60s and 70s. So yeah, it's a very summer-like air mass. It's laden with moisture, but uh, the moisture has been held back because of a lid of warm air over the top. We call it a cap. Nothing really to trigger thunderstorms today, but that will change tomorrow and the next few days. I guarantee you're going to see it. We're going to talk about a lot of rain. Here is the QPF, quantitative precipitation forecast, to take us through the next 7 days. Most of this coming Friday into Saturday, even. And you can see that each day this keeps swapping out from low end 1 to maybe 1 inch to an inch and a half. And sometimes it goes into the inch and a half to inch and 3/4. There's a couple of places there where it goes to 2 inches. Here's the scale over here on the left hand side of that graphic. I look for this to change a little bit more as we get closer to Friday. I think the rain chances are going to look pretty stout for us. So, those of you that are doing the 400-mile yard sale, which starts tomorrow, by the way, and runs through Sunday, um, probably Friday is going to be your rainiest day, and part of Saturday too. In between all that or around those 2 days, I think it's going to be more scattered showers and thunderstorms and not a consistent, persistent rain, although the chances will be there just about any place, anytime. And that includes Highway 68, the home of the 400-mile yard sale. So I would just, get your tarps ready, have a backup plan ready just in case if you're setting up to start the sale tomorrow. A few showers, but Friday and Saturday, that's when you're really probably going to have to find some time to cover up the stuff that you're wanting to sell along the route. All right. What about severe weather? Well, here was today's outlook, and I haven't really seen a whole lot back here today. You saw that east of St. Louis and kind of over toward Mount Vernon. Those are strong storms, but they're not necessarily severe. It's more about heavy rain than anything else. But let's look at tomorrow. For Thursday, cold front is going to come in and just linger. And that is going to touch off more in the way of scattered showers and thunderstorms. Some of those could contain some heavy rain, yes. And so there is a level one marginal risk for tomorrow that with enough daytime heating, there could be a strong to severe storm. The number one threat is going to be heavy rain, damaging wind, and then maybe some hail. Tornado threat is relatively low to almost non-existent tomorrow. Oh, there it is. Pretty much non-existent. But I don't like to say zero because there was no tornado threat for Washington County last week. And you saw what happened there. So that doesn't mean that there's not going to be a tornado. That just means the threat is pretty low. Yeah. Severe wind or damaging wind threat is right there along the front tomorrow afternoon and evening. Hail, maybe back into far western Kentucky. That's where the better setup for that will be. Friday, though, continues to be the day that I think if we're going to have severe weather, Friday looks to be the day. Now, to kind of draw for you where 68 starts and ends in the state of Kentucky, you have to go over to Paducah. Then it kind of follows 24 for a little bit, but then it starts to go down further south toward Trigg County and then through Hopkinsville, Cadiz, Hopkinsville, Elkton, Russellville, Bowling Green, Glasgow, Edmonton. Then it takes a turn and goes north into Greene County, Greensburg. Then it goes through Campbellsville. Then it goes up on up into Boyle County and all those areas up toward Lexington. And then all the way up here and right there on the Ohio River is Maysville. And that's where the 400-mile yard sale will end. So it goes from Paducah through southern Kentucky and then on up to Maysville. And you can see pretty much all of that area on Friday has a level 2 slight risk of severe storms. I know that's not a good thing, and it's something that you're going to have to pay attention to. Nonetheless, a severe weather threat is a severe weather threat, and we're all going to have to pay attention to it. I don't think it's going to be anything real serious, but the potential is there for the possibility of some damaging wind, hail. We'll tomorrow be able to see if there's going to be any kind of a tornado threat. I'm thinking probably not. It's probably going to be low. I'm thinking the number one primary threat on Friday is going to be heavy rainfall, potentially some minor flooding possible with those storms. Saturday, severe weather threat goes south, and then Sunday, it's not there. That's the last day of the yard sale. So, see, you'll be able to get some time in. It's just Friday is going to be, out of all the days, it's going to be really the worst. And even then, I still think you can go out and do what you're going to do and have some fun. I always have fun doing the yard sale, even if I don't buy anything. I just like to look and I like to talk to people, meet people, and just drive around. I love just driving. 68's a good drive. You think how big this state is, and you go all the way here from McCracken County through southern Kentucky, and then all the way up here at Maysville is way up here. Yeah, Mason. I think it's Mason County, if I'm not mistaken, or Lewis, somewhere in there. But anyway, that's where it goes. So here is the weather map for this evening. As you can see, showers back to the west, and we saw those on radar. So that's pretty accurate. Slowly, that system will creep eastward as we get into the overnight hours. I don't think we'll see any rain here in Bowling Green or much of the 270 until we get into tomorrow morning and then a little bit more tomorrow afternoon. But the models are indicating here that we could see a few showers even for your drive into work tomorrow morning. And these would be scattered showers. Not everybody painted in here is going to get rained on. The front really begins to stall back into parts of southeastern Missouri, parts of Arkansas. As we get into the mid afternoon, the front still lingering back to the west, occasional showers and thunderstorms here. Here is tomorrow evening around this time, a little break. It's just a break. We'll have the showers tapering off a bit, but they're not done. In fact, they're really at this point, they're just getting started because the best setup for the rain is back here along the front, even though it takes a break tomorrow evening. So here we go into Friday morning. This is going to be the rainiest and stormiest of the next few days. Everybody gets rain. Everybody gets a thunderstorm, pretty much. Here comes the heavy rain Friday evening. There is a red zone that the looks like the Weather Service office in Knoxville, which would be right there in Knox County, has painted in the potential for some severe storms tomorrow evening. And if there's going to be actual severe storms Friday evening or afternoon, it's going to be where there's a little bit more in the way of sun and heating up the atmosphere. We may stay cloudy enough Friday to where we don't have to worry about severe storms, maybe a few strong ones. You see, we're painted in with pretty good rounds of rain there Friday evening. Here we go into Saturday morning. The front starts to ease its way down into western and eventually southern Kentucky into the 270, and you see heavy rain. At least Saturday morning, there will be heavy rain and thunderstorms to start the day. Now, as we get into Saturday night and Sunday, notice the front kind of goes back to the north. As it came down, it stalls, then it goes back to the north. That's going to keep us in that canopy of high humidity, moisture content, and rain and thunderstorms. Here we go into Monday. Oh, not much change. Look at this little hole that opens up right there, Clarksville, back toward Trigg County, land between the lakes. That's not much. But I think we're going to see Monday more in the way of, say, scattered showers and thunderstorms. Again, not a deluge, but again, we're going to be under that canopy of moisture. And that goes for Tuesday. Then we finally see that front that's been hung up back here for several days through the weekend finally start to move east. That's going to start to dry things out as we get into the middle of next week. Here's Wednesday. Still a few lingering showers, maybe Wednesday morning, but then here's much drier air back to the west. And that's going to be here by next Thursday. That's a week from today, folks. A week from today. So between now and then, we're just going to have to contend with rain. It's coming and it's going to hang around for a while. Here's a look at the blender, the blend of models. I call it the model blender. This is where numerous weather models are put into a blender, spun around, and this is the output. 80s, let's say mid 80s. With the rain in the air and the clouds, we're not going to be quite as warm as we've been the last few days. Temperatures will be going down into the low 80s, which is more in line with the normal. Right now, the normal is 84. for a high temperature. We get as cool as 82, but then we warm right back into the mid and even upper 80s next week and the following weekend. So it's not going to take us long. That rainy period does cool us down just a little, but not all that much. We're still going to be landing right where we should be for this time of the year as far as temperatures. So, yep. All right. Here's a look at that 7-day forecast as seen this morning on News 40 and at WNKY.com and the News 40 weather app. You've got your chances of rain there next to the raindrops, severe storm threat, the best severe storm threat, even though there's now one tomorrow, it's on the low end. If there's going to be severe weather, I think it's going to happen Friday. And that's also when the heaviest of the rains are expected to come through. And then gradually, as we head into the upcoming weekend, the rain chances start to go down once we get past, say, Saturday morning. All right. There's your 400-mile yard sale, starts tomorrow and runs through Sunday. All right. So, let's see what some of you are saying in the chat room here tonight. So there's Ron. Let's see, Ron. Hello from Clinton County. Well, hello, Ron. Appreciate you watching. All the way down there, Albany, close to Albany, Kentucky. Here's Rod. Okay, here's a question from Rod and Gale. If Tornado Alley includes the Dixie Alley, should we be called the bowling? I see what you did there. The bowling alley. How about this? How about we don't get a name? I would rather us not get a name. You know, it's if you got Dixie Alley, Tornado Alley, let's just not have an alley. I don't you know what I mean? I mean, that's funny. I like that. Yeah. Thank you, Rod and Gale. That's funny. I like it. The bowling alley. Hmm. Well, you know, if my mind, some people say is always in the gutter, so that would be appropriate. The bowling alley. That's pretty good. I like it. Who else here? Dry Fork checking in. Okay, Judy Ellis, thank you for checking in. They're from Dry Fork. You're not going to be dry much longer. It's going to get wet next few days. And we're hoping, yes, as let's see here. Who else? Hey, honeys. Got a picture of a cat. Hey, honeys. Hopefully the tornado risk isn't too bad for Friday. I'm hoping it won't be. I'm hoping it won't be. Here's Marilyn Hester. Thank you. I keep up with Ohio County weather too for my mom. There are no reporters there. Well, I can be your reporter. They're in the Ohio County's in the 270. And then further north, you go up in the 502, which is about to add another prefix, another area code because the 502 is running out of numbers. So they're going there. They're working now to add. I don't know what the new numbers will be. It'll be 502 and then 3 new numbers that they'll give people in the 502, like they did the 270 ran out of numbers. And so parts of Western Kentucky are 270 and then they're 364. We're running out of numbers. You people talk too much. That's the problem. I'm just kidding. All right. Again, thanks to our sponsors, RNR Controls, for being gracious to sponsor 270 Weather. They told me today when I talked to them, they've had response already, and that was from one day, Monday. Uh, so every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they're on, and we promote them. And I'm telling you, those Generac generators are something else. You need to contact them if you're in need of backup power. And there it is. I mean, they got several models. Don't think it's just going to be this big behemoth of this thing sitting in your yard or beside your house. Like you've already got your AC unit and that's big enough. And then to have this other thing, no. Hey, they can customize this. They can get you the right kilowatts of power that you need to power what you have, small to big, and home to industrial. Generac, the number one name in sales, service, and installation of backup generators. 270-777-2024. R&R Controls. We thank you for being a sponsor of 270 Weather. All right, you guys, have a great Wednesday evening. I'll see you tomorrow morning on News 40 at 6 a.m. We call it sunrise for a good reason. And then I'll see you again at noon. In the meantime, God bless. Thank you for watching.